Recently, I've started using the screw-on versions of the DRDO's microtuners, which get screwed on to the screw of your tuner peg. I bought these because they help me solve some unique problems. The only downside that I found of these tuners is that as they're screwed on, they get fixed and you're forced to buy separate tuners for each guitar, which raises up the cost. To balance out the cost of buying multiple tuners, I wanted to see if I could buy a cheap clip-on tuner for any other guitar that I've not bought a micro tuner for yet, or the ones that I don't use so often. When I was going through Amazon to see some affordable tuners, I came across the same looking tuners that were differently priced, which raised up some questions in my head. Are they all the same, just rebranded and sold by different companies? And could you just buy the cheapest one and get the same results? And are these cheap Chinese tuners any good? To answer this question, I ordered two tuners that look exactly the same but were priced differently. The two tuners that I singled out were the Ambiki Sound tuner, the most expensive amongst the identical looking tuners, and the Blueberry, the cheapest amongst the identical looking tuners. They came in the same box, had the same dimensions. On first impressions, you think they're completely identical, but when I paid more attention, I noticed that they came with different clips. They had different battery compartments, the motherboards were completely different, and so were the screens. So all the affordable tuners may look the same from the outside, but they're not the same where it matters, that is from the inside. And now to answer the most important question, are these tuners any good? I put them to the test. In my test, the Blueberry, the cheapest amongst the chosen tuners, failed to read the B, G, D, A and the top E string. It failed to read 5 out of the 6 strings. I decided to get a replacement, thinking maybe I just got a bad piece. But when the replacement unit arrived and I put it on my guitar, the clip of the tuner tore apart. So it is safe to say that the Blueberry tuner is a complete piece of junk. Now let's go on to test the second tuner, which was the most expensive amongst the identical looking tuners on Amazon. The Ambiki Sound tuner came pretty close at tuning the guitar, with a precision very similar to that of the D'Addario's micro tuner. 90% of the time they both gave identical results. But on the rare occasions, the D'Addario did allow me to fine-tune the strings with a little more accuracy and precision, but this was a negligible difference. After a little over 6 months of using the Ambiki Sound tuner, one day I was setting up my acoustic guitar and I switched it on and I saw that half of the screen of the tuner was no longer working. To replace the defective tuners, and because I've had a really good experience with the D'Addario's micro tuner, I decided to order the clip-on tuner clips. It's priced down ₹1200, which is approximately half the price of a micro tuner. At half the price, it still tunes with the same accuracy as the micro tuner. It has a larger screen that can be adjusted with a multi-swivel that is useful at getting better viewing angles. It's a little over twice the cost of the Ambiki Sound tuner, but considering that the Ambiki Sound tuner only lasted a little over 6 months, you probably save money purchasing the Eclipse as it's more reliable and it's built to last longer. After trying out all the tuners, I feel like the Eclipse is the cheapest you can go without compromising on quality. If you go any cheaper than this, you end up buying multiple tuners, and instead of saving money, you actually end up blowing it all. So to conclude, I wouldn't recommend the cheap Chinese identical looking clip-on tuners on Amazon. The clip-on tuner that I do recommend is the Eclipse. It strikes a good balance between affordability and performance. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out and you just use the tuner to practice at home, you could just download a free tuning app on your phone. Even though a free tuning app is a good solution for beginners, it does come with its own limitation. For one, I like to minimize the use of a smartphone as much as possible because they have a tendency to distract you from your goals. Added to this, there are certain situations where the tuner on your phone won't work, like on a gig, as the phone's microphone will pick up sounds of other instruments and will fail to single out the sound of your strings and tune your guitar. On a gig, whenever I'm plugged into an amp, I use a tuning pedal to tune my guitars, but whenever I'm rehearsing unplugged, a screw-on tuner or a clip-on tuner does come in handy. And finally, anytime that I take out my phone to tune my guitar, there's a risk of dropping it, stepping over it, spilling something on it, or just taking it out, setting it aside and forgetting it, for example in a guitar store. So let's break down what we've learned so far on this video. The cheap identical looking clip-on tuners on Amazon are useless. The cheapest reliable clip-on tuner that I could find so far is the Eclipse. If you're just starting out and you just practice at home, you could get away with downloading a free app on your phone. But there are certain situations where a free app on your phone won't work, like when you're on a gig. I would love to hear opinions with respect to tuners. If there's any particular brand or model that you've used and gotten good or bad experiences with, why you use them, why you like them, and what are the issues that you faced, please feel free to leave your thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like, and if you'd like to see more of such videos, do subscribe and smash that bell icon. If you have any questions or any doubts, you can leave them down in the comment section below. This is it from me for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you all again in the next video.